Being an independent artist isn't this glamorous and super fulfilling job or role how the mainstream media has been promoting it recently. Don't get me wrong, there's a strong suit being in an independent role because you're in a position of control, right? You have say so over your art, you have say so over your craft, you reap the back end of the lot of the stuff that you do. There is a lot of upside to it. Now, what people have to address also is the amount of strategy, work, and the team you need to have around you in order to survive as an independent artist, right? Because unless you're somebody who can excel at not only making the art, but also marketing yourself, promoting yourself, the distribution, like all that other stuff that goes with trying to be successful as an independent artist is going to overwhelm you because naturally you aren't meant to be switching in between all those different roles. If you are an artist, right? You're a true artist. You're just meant to be inside of your element and you'll make the best work. And then you should have people around you who can assist you and who can, fill in the gaps where you can't. And that leads me into like my first tip in this video. You have to establish a team. If you don't have no team around you, it's going to be very difficult for you to push forward, get into new rooms, get into new levels, get into, just anything progressive if you're relying solely on your ability to execute. Because what happens the day that you don't feel like doing something? Or what happens if you don't know something? What happens if you just flat out suck at, let's say marketing, for example? What happens then? Do you just sit there in stagnancy and just wonder why nothing's working out? Or does something in your head eventually tell you, I need to go and find help. I need help, right? And if I'm not going to sign myself to a label, some type of company, some type of investor, whatever the case may be, then you need to find people who are willing to invest in your vision, right? That means your vision better be very darn strong, right? Your messaging better be strong. You better have a certain level of passion and dedication behind what you're doing if you're expecting somebody to pour solely into your vision, right? Now, once you have those people, it can just be somebody as solely like a friend. If you have the money to actually go get a creative director or a photographer or, videographer, whatever the case may be, creative agency, go do that. But if you have a homie, if you have a cousin, if you have somebody, a friend who's willing to help you do these things, bring him on. See if he's willing to help you. He may need some experience too, right? So just being able to ask and just network and outsource will save you so much time and effort. It's crazy because independent artists are never really independent. The term independent artist just means that they're not signed to a label. It does not mean that that artist is independent in his business, his art, or anything else. Those people are surrounded by people helping them. They're surrounded by mentors, accountants, lawyers, A&Rs, managers, writers, publicists. They have a team surrounding them. They're just not signed to anything. It's almost like a 1099 or like independent contracting for people who do, construction and other stuff like that, right? He's just outsourcing a whole bunch of different stuff. And that's what you guys need to, start doing. And also, I feel like I need to say this because of what I do, how I help artists, and just my business side. You guys need to make content. And I'm not telling you this to sell you anything. I'm being so serious with you. Content will open certain doors for you that your music probably wouldn't have, right? Sometimes you need an avenue to drive people to the music, right? Whether that's through a podcast, press release, It's funny because nowadays, I was in the studio, crazy enough, and one of the execs that was up in there said that the way that he found one of the artists who was in the room was from a cooking video that she did, right? It had nothing to do with her music, but he went down the rabbit hole and then stumbled across her Instagram, right? Then that led to her having an opportunity. I'm being so serious. I just had an interaction with Erykah Badu. You can Go watch that video where I explained all of that. Once again, it's content. I've seen content open doors in ways that's out of this world. DDG is actually very potent because he's mastered being an independent artist, right? I believe he got a distribution deal. It's a pretty good thing to get a distribution deal. There's people who's getting, admin deals. I believe just people's contracts are getting way out now because people are getting smarter, right? The people who are signing to labels aren't just signing at, just aren't blindly signing that line no more. They're starting to become a little bit more pushy and, ask for what they truly want and demand it. And that's because it's a social media era. Back in the day, you really did need a label because you just flat out couldn't afford to do anything. You really needed that help. You needed that radio time. You needed them billboards. You needed them commercials. You needed that music video shot. It was very, very, very expensive to market and promote your music so people actually knew and was able to experience you in the first place, right? And labels played upon that. They knew you didn't know how to distribute that. They knew that you didn't know how to make no money from that. So, bro, we're about to extort this, in other words. And that's what a lot of artists feel like. And that's why this independent route and this independent era is starting to come about. But now, with the internet, with technology, artists are now able to promote themselves, in other words, right? Now, yes, there is a quote-unquote factor of luck, right? Because when you're dealing with an algorithm, you never truly know when or what may hit. But you raise your chances, you raise your likelihood. When you're an independent artist, you shouldn't be exiting yourself out from anything, especially something like social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, especially TikTok. Obviously on the West Coast, there's a lot of people who's been blowing up recently off of TikTok and just social media in general. So utilize this. This is a marketing aspect. The more eyes that you can pull just on you and your brand, it will help you as an independent artist, right? And that's where it comes into actually putting that work in. Are you sitting down, figuring out your messaging? Who are you? What are you saying? Why are you saying it? And that'll help you articulate it. Sometimes you can just pull up your phone, give a thought, say what you need to say, go live. So many different things. Like I said, cooking channels, gaming channels. You can do whatever you want to on the internet, literally. And as long as you have a way to trace whatever you're doing on the internet back to your music, you will gain traction. As long as you're showing your personality. Like, think about it. If you get on a podcast or you start making clips about anime, and then somebody goes on your profile and they see that you make music, they're going to be expecting you to have an anime cadence. So then all of a sudden, they start understanding that, oh, it was a little bit deeper than anime. This person makes music. But I needed to get an introduction to either that person's energy, the way that they think, their perspective, their outlook, whatever the case may be. Then it will naturally lead them to the music, you guys. So for all my independent artists, if you aren't going to be the next Albert Einstein and become a master artist while also being a master businessman, find a team who can fill your gaps for you. Whether that's somebody as simple as a photographer. A photographer can push you into different roles. So, trust your path. If you're being an independent artist, yes, stick it through if that's what you want to do. And there's rewards. That is this, very liberating standpoint to be in. But always think ahead. Think of ways that you can survive. Because if you don't have a label dropping M's on you, that means you have to get the M's. Which means you have to get a little bit creative on how your music funds you or how you fund you. Because at the end of the day, I think that's really all we want. To be funded, to be ourselves. So figure out how to just fund money to your brand, your name, your artist name. Figure out how to make your artist name make more money. And you'll be cool. I love y'all. Oh, wait. And let me know if y'all need any more tips, any help, or y'all actually need a photographer. I mean, I'm not even trying to sell y'all, but like for real, let me know, because this is a very important topic and my independent artists do need a lot of help, and I'm here to help y'all. So I love you.